Hello, Crystal Palace. Welcome to the Up and Wood Library Hub's Library Lunch. This is a place to share positive and useful local information, find out about our wonderful community in a bit more depth, and just try and keep us all connected during this very strange time. So I'm delighted to welcome back my guest today, who is Noreen Meehan, the director of Crystal Palace Festival, and she is here to tell us about a Crystal Palace Christmas crowdfunder. Noreen, it's brilliant to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. Tell us about a Crystal Palace Christmas.
Hi, Eleanor. Lovely to see you. And hi, Crystal Palace. Hope everybody's keeping well. Looking forward to Christmas, which I certainly am, actually. And yeah, Crystal Palace Christmas has been a really great success. It's been a crowdfunding campaign that we started 4 weeks ago almost now. And in partnership with the kind of nascent Crystal Palace town team engagement group. So we decided that, Crystal Palace is going to look rather bare and sad without lights and without celebrations. And I know things are different this year. But there is a bit of complications, as always, with everything Crystal Palace. There's always complications. Living at the edge of 5 boroughs makes it complicated. And unfortunately, there's a bit of an issue with the Christmas lights in Crystal Palace, that they are the wrong kind of lights, and that it would cost £4,000 to put up those lights that we had last year and the year before, which
Wow.
quite frankly are not great lights, I in my opinion, but that's my opinion. Maybe other people really like them. But so that was quite a lot of money. But we last year we had a Christmas tree which was funded by the local Croydon councillors. Unfortunately, that's not able to happen this year. So we thought, well, we need to do something. We need to, get up there and start making it happening. So we put together this campaign, and a Crystal Palace Christmas is all about having a Christmas tree, but also having a bit of celebration as well. So there's a couple of different elements, and I'm just going to read them out actually from my page here, because it's just to get the exact correct information to you all. So basically, what we've got lined up is a Christmas tree being put up on the 1st of December with lights switch on the 5th of December. And then we've also got some live performances from the Christmas tree on the 12th of December. So we've got some beautiful opera singers singing Christmas favourites, and also I believe Palace a cappella are going to come along and sing as well. Your
We are
wonderful
looking
choir.
forward to it.
So that's going to be live streamed. Hopefully, we just need to make sure our connection is right. But either way, we'll be recording it. But we're hoping to do a live stream from the tree of that those performances. So all of that is now funded, which is fantastic. But we've had a couple of different stretch targets. First of all, it was getting the tree in place, then it was the performances, and then we've also raised enough money to do a lanterns festival. Now the lanterns festival is all about getting local school children to make some lanterns to put in local traders' windows. So we're busy talking to schools. As you can imagine, it's strange times at the local schools as well, and not everything can go ahead. So we're hoping that we can get enough local children involved to create those lanterns, and they're quite a simple design, but it will brighten up the windows, and it'll also give the children something to be proud of and something for them to go and have a look at with their families as well. So we're talking to a couple of different primary schools at the moment about doing that. And then if we've got some money left over, we'll be able to give the railings at the Christmas tree a bit of a lick of paint and clean up that part of Crystal Palace. And we've got some local people willing to volunteer their time. So that's what a Crystal Palace Christmas is, and we are nearly at our target of £6,000, which is amazing.
That's awesome. In 4 weeks, that's amazing.
Yeah, nearly 4 weeks. We've got 5 days to go, and we've got a little bit left to raise. So we're calling out, Crystal Palace, come on, we can do this. So we've literally got £145 left to raise out of the 6,000, which is, amazing result. And, we thank everybody for their help and their support.
And the Christmas tree is going to be where it was last year, isn't it? So
that's right.
On that little tiny bit of triangle by kind of brown and greens and the Alma and blowing dandelion and opposite the White Hart.
Exactly, yeah. It's kind of really the only place we can put it, and it's a bit of a complicated site because we actually have to put the Christmas tree up up high, but it means that everyone can really see it really well. And it looked so beautiful last year.
It really
We
did.
had loads of people come to the light switch on, so hopefully in 2021 we'll be all back there for light switch on, but this time it will be a live switch on that will be kind of streaming from, and Father Christmas will be arriving to switch on the lights at 6 o'clock on the 5th. So yes, it's a bit complicated where we put it, but hey, as I said, everything is complicated in Crystal Palace.
And of all the years that we need some extra Christmas cheer and to make sure that we have, sparkle around the local area, this is definitely the year.
It is indeed,
amazing.
yeah. And I think that's what's captured people's imaginations. People are looking forward to, having some relaxation, seeing their loved ones, hopefully as much as they can within the rules, but also to walk around the triangle and see a tree and see lights and, and see that Christmas cheer. People, that always one of the things I enjoy most about Christmas is looking at the wonderful creativity and the lights and all the, the beautiful things that people put up. So that will really cheer things up, I think.
I think the announcement, I think, was that carol singing outside is allowed, isn't it now? So
it is.
I know that for us, just being able to do a small group carol sing by the Christmas tree is going to make us all feel 100 times more Christmassy than I think we otherwise would. So we really appreciate the opportunity to do that.
Well, we can't wait to have you guys. I mean, I'm in the lucky position of actually being able to be present at all these live performances, and I know that we're going to be streaming them, so it won't be possible for everyone to be present. So I feel very lucky that I get to actually be there for the live performance and organising it. So, and it was similar with our live stream show in August. We had a whole weekend of live music. It was like, what a treat, that was, and so many other great performers from all the different artists that performed. It was a real treat to have it live, which we're all missing terribly, I know.
Absolutely, we certainly are. I've got a couple of comments and shout outs on the Facebook feed. So Gaynell says, hi there, Crystal Palace Christmas Crowdfunder. That's a bit of a tongue twister. A couple of kisses. Yes, Gaynell, it really is. I was very worried I was going to get that wrong. And Nick says hello as well. I know we've got quite a few of you watching, so it would be really lovely to have a shout out, know who's there. If you've got any comments or anything you want to say about the idea of actually having a Christmas tree and some lights and some Christmas cheer, we'd really love you to get involved on the Facebook feed. It's really nice for us to know that there's people listening and engaging, and we're not just talking to a void. So do give us a shout, say hello, let us know who's there. So Noreen, with the crowdfunder, because anybody who's watching, just £145 left to raise. There are some rewards, aren't there, along the way? Actually, quite a variety of rewards, I think.
Well, we have got quite a lot of rewards, and so we've got digital shout outs for everybody who's going to be pledging. We've also got, sorry, I'm just reading it all here from the page because there's quite a lot of information. We've also got wonderful Crystal Palace Festival mugs, which are really rather beautiful, actually, even if I do say so myself. They're based on the design that we have in all of our creative and all of our posters. So they are rather lovely. We also have Crystal Palace calendars. And there's also going to be, as say, Santa, Father Christmas doing shout outs to people as well. So there's different levels. You can donate as much or as little as you want, but we start at £5. So there's some lovely rewards for everyone there as well.
I actually went for the mug a few days ago.
They're lovely.
Collecting. I've got a Friends of Gypsy Hill mug, so I want a festival one now to go with it.
Absolutely. And if you want to donate, all you need to do is go to our Facebook page, and the links are on there, or our Twitter account, or our Instagram account. So it's just, if you search for Crystal Palace Festival on Twitter, it's CP Festival UK. So the links are all up there if you would like to pledge and hopefully get us over that finishing line by the end of Friday. Would be amazing.
Because it's only if 20 people a cup of coffee or something, and we're pretty much there, maybe slightly more than that, yeah. So the link is actually in the Facebook feed now for everybody, and I've got a couple more comments. So Gaynell said, Team Palace a Cappella, really looking forward to playing our part. We are indeed. Shop SE19 says, so pleased that this can happen again this year. Good luck with the final few pledges. Thanks very much. And Kay says hi as well. She's also Palace a Cappella, as is Nick. So thanks, guys. Great to know you're watching. Keep the comments coming. It's always fun to have them. So Noreen, do you want to tell us a bit about who has been involved in kind of supporting this? Because there's been a lot of support from local businesses as well as residents, hasn't there?
It's I'd say it was such a really wonderful amount of kind of people. We've got 178 supporters, from the public crowdfunding campaign, and then we've also been contacting local businesses. Now we recognise obviously that it's been a pretty torrid time for the local economy, and it was always, if people can afford to donate and support, it's always, if you can afford it. But local businesses have totally stepped up. So just to give you a little roll call of honour for all those wonderful local businesses, the Secret Garden have donated the tree, which is worth £300, as they did last year, which is incredible. So don't forget to get your Christmas trees at the Secret Garden, which is an amazing place. And then £250 has been donated by iMove, Urban Cellar, Martin and Co, Crystal Palace, and Brown and Green. So incredible support from all of those local businesses. There's been £100 donated by Beg Williamson Accountants, Calaro's, one of our newest cafes, The Little Escape, Joanna's, the Sparrowhawk, Cavendish De Vere, Irvine Fun Fairs, the Chamber of Commerce, and Amplet Lissibor. And then we've had £50 donated by 4 boroughs, Conrad Fox, À l'Étage 2, Decorum, Simon Carter, Embold, Crystal Palace, the Lakes Cafe down in South Norwood Lakes, and Vienne. And then finally £30 from Escape Bar, another quite new business. And also we have decorations being kindly donated by Crystal Palace Flowers, another great place to get all of your Christmas decorations and flowers and trees. So it's just been a wonderful coming together of local businesses and local residents. And it's something that's very heartening to see, that all this support, and something that's going to be joyous for everybody.
Absolutely. And again, I think we really need it this year. Really need it. So that's an amazing community effort. Thank you for organising it and making it happen.
We've had some lovely volunteers. I'd like to just say thank you to Paula, who's one of our local volunteers, who's got involved in our engagement team for the town team that we're trying to set up. And Graham, who's the chair of our charity behind the festival, he's also been supporting. And then Palace a Cappella, thank you so much for doing your wonderful shout out, which we're going to show at the end of this. Father Christmas has also done a shout out, so we've had quite a lot of support from various people to make it all happen. But yes, crowdfunding is quite full on. It's one of those things that it's always harder work than you think it's going to be.
Well, it's all any kind of publicity is, isn't it? It's kind of, you need constant work and repetition and finding new ways to say things.
Exactly. Yes. But it's a lot of fun as well, and it's lovely to see all of that support coming in. That makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, and again, especially this year, just having that community pulled together feels really special and really lovely. So actually, Kay has just said, indeed, these great to hear all these lovely local businesses pulling together. So thanks, Kay. That was well-timed comment. So obviously we're not going to be able to have, as you said, the enormous crowds for the switching on of the lights and things like that we had last year, sadly. So I'm sure that people might catch the odd bit of it as they're walking past with the live performances, but how can people hear the performances and kind of see the switching on of the lights and things?
Of course, yeah. So at 6 o'clock on the 5th of December, Father Christmas will be switching on the lights, and that will be broadcast as a live stream on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. So do tune in for the light switch on. And then on the 12th of December at about 3:30, we'll have some live performances. So we'll have you guys, Palace a cappella, and then we'll also have the wonderful Scarlet Divas, and also I think Giles will be joining us as well, the opera singers that we had last year, who'll be doing live performances from the tree. So again, just tune into social media and put it in your diary, you know, kind of, I think streaming hopefully some beautiful Christmas music with some amazing singers straight into your home and help us all feel together, you know, even if we can't be together in person, it will bring that togetherness, I think, into our homes.
Yeah, absolutely. And really lovely to at least be able to see it happening in the local, you know, see it happening on your screen, but just round the corner as well. That's lovely. Noreen, is there anything else that you want to tell us about in terms of the crowdfunder and what's behind it?
Well, I think, you know, it's been as I said, an idea that came out of conversations with people who are involved in trying to set up our town team. And, you know, I think going forward, that the whole idea of that town team is to support Crystal Palace initiatives. And it's at the moment it's quite difficult to set it up because the amount of funding that's out there is pretty low for such initiatives. So we're hoping in the new year that we can kind of reboot and that there'll be more funding available to try and set up that initiative. And then the idea of the town team is that we carry out a large scale engagement with the local community to find out what the community wants. So it's just a little bit of information about the town team idea, and you know the initiative came from conversations with people who are trying to help set that up. So that's kind of just one thing to say about it. And obviously we've got support of local partners like the library as well, who are going to be live streaming the performances too. So it's a real coming together of Crystal Palace groups and people again. But going forward, yeah, I think we need to kind of think about, well, what do we do in 2021 and going forward? Maybe we set up more crowdfunding or more funding initiatives to try and, you know, make sure that we can deliver this in future years as well.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And actually, speaking of the future, do you want to give us an update on Crystal Palace Festival and what you've got planned for that? Because I know that you won't have been standing still on that.
No, there's lots of work going on in the background, and obviously, you know, 2021 and live events, it's still very much up in the air about what will happen. However, with vaccines on the horizon, which is wonderful news, and also mass testing taking place in cities, you know, I think this is my prediction for the summer 2021 that there will be a festival season. And indeed, there has been a license approved by Bromley Council for Festival Republic, one of the largest event promoters in the world. They're part of Live Nation, and they deliver Reading and Leeds festivals. So, you know, they also delivered Glastonbury for a while. Mm-hmm. They are actually coming to Crystal Palace Park in July. Ooh. There are going to be 2 large-scale events in Crystal Palace Park. I think the weekends there will be the 9th, the 11th of July, and then the following weekend. And in between those weekends, there will be opportunity to have more events and more of a community focus. So what those plans look like, we don't know just yet, but the festival team are involved in a subgroup and a kind of advisory group for the Crystal Palace Park Trust, advising all of these things. And the great thing about the events coming to Crystal Palace Park is not just because the park is a perfect place for events and people have been crying out for more events, you know, for years and years, is that the money that comes from these large events will be going straight into the trust. And the trust is being set up to manage the park in the community's interest. And, you know, that will happen in stages. The trust will take on event management from summer 2021, and eventually will take on the management of the park entirely. Wow. But they needed funding, so this is very important to, you know, be able to get that trust up and running and going. And also Festival Republic are you know, they're a really, as I say, one of the biggest in the world. They know, you know, what they're doing in terms of health and safety, in terms of, you know, noise management and all of those things. You know, the Bromley Council licensing team have given them a license because they are satisfied that they can deliver a great event, one that is safe, one that is you know, suitable for the environment that it's taking place in. And let's not forget that Crystal Palace Park was made for events.
Yeah.
It's an event space. So I think, some of the concerns are around the size of the events. We had 30,000 people come to an event in Crystal Palace Park in 2017.
Wow.
And then, the next day it looked like there would been nobody there. So, these events
Impressive.
can take place very, very well and very safely. So that's why we're supporting it, because we believe that it's going to be very good for Crystal Palace in general.
And amazing to have something to look forward to that actually is relatively close, and sort of has a semblance of normality again. That sounds
Absolutely,
fantastic.
absolutely. I think, the events industry has suffered greatly because it's just been one of those things that just can't take place. Next year, unless events come back, they'll be looking at a lot of the people and the businesses involved, will not be able to come back. So I think there has to be a solution, and I know that there's a consultation going on with the Department of Culture and media and sport with the events industry at the moment, and I'm sure they're looking at how those events can happen safely in the summer of 2021. The festival team, i.e. me at the moment mostly, we're also looking at solutions for delivering, activities, events next year as well, and working with the trust on those types of ideas as well. So watch this space. It's a developing thing. I think one of the things we will struggle with, everybody, is in this space is looking at is around things like funding. So we're trying to think of new ways to raise money to deliver events next year, and that's kind of the main focus at the moment, trying to think about how to raise money, but also talking to different groups within the community about what they would like to see next year as well. So there's a lot of focus on planning, A, B, C, and D plan, seeing how we can possibly fund these things. That's always the challenge.
There's always a lot of planning going on, isn't there? I guess you're having to do as you said, plans A, B, C, and D just in case. So extra planning. And there's always quite a big outreach element, isn't there, to what the festival does as well, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's something we can focus on next year and do things in a COVID secure way. And certainly we're looking at, an idea of actually bringing the festival perhaps out to some of the areas of Crystal Palace that it may not reach, or the people from there may not reach. That's one of the ideas we're looking at. So yeah, definitely some outreach activity. I think that's something we can definitely deliver in a COVID secure way.
Fantastic. I've got a couple of comments. So Kay says, exciting, exclamation mark. And Gaynell also says, hearing of the upcoming events for 2021, just wondering if the CP Bowl will ever be used for live events again, or would it require too much work to bring it back up to par? I don't know if you're the person to ask, but the question is there.
Yeah, well, actually, there's another festival promoter who just applied for a license to do events in the bowl.
Cool.
And I do know a little bit about that. And the idea is that the actual platform itself is not in a fit state to be used for events. But what you can do is you can build a pontoon stage in the lake, and that's possibly what might be a solution for events in the bowl. So there's another license application in for events in the bowl, but so there's ways around this. It just means kind of looking at the space in a different way. And I know that the trust are very keen on restoring the bowl stage for community events and activities. It's not really a commercial stage. It's actually really built, well, but for classical music, it's a stage that can be used, but for large scale kind of popular music events, stuff like that, it actually doesn't really work commercially. So you'd have to build something around it, but it's possible, definitely. And I know that people are looking at solutions for that. So that's a possibility, which would be wonderful, because it is the most beautiful space in the park for events. It is iconic, and it's a wonderful place.
Yeah, fantastic. So actually, if anybody's interested in kind of keeping tabs on this, the Crystal Palace Park Trust is a good one to follow on social media and things to keep up to date with what's happening, as well as Crystal
Yeah.
Palace Festival.
And there's the lovely Crystal Palace Bowl account as well, Friends of Crystal Palace Bowl, run by the amazing Ollie, who publishes these fantastic photographs of all the concerts in the bowl. I don't know if anyone's been looking at that. So that's CP_bowl on Twitter. And they have a website as well. So if you have a look at that, and really, really amazing photographs. I enjoy looking at them every time he puts them up every day. There's just an endless store or archive that he's got these photographs that he's putting up, and it's just like all the different performers and people like Vera Lynn with Hawkwind. Wow. And it's just quite amazing the amount of people and you know, musicians and artists that have played the bowl. So that's a good one to follow as well.
Fantastic. Cool. Thank you. Well, do you want to give us, to sort of finish off with, do you want to give us a quick reminder of the details for the crowdfunder?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because guys, we're £145 away from having a Christmas tree with all the trimmings and all of the performances and lanterns made by primary school children and all sorts of other amazing things. So
absolutely, nearly there, everybody. So come on, Crystal Palace. So you can find all the details at our Facebook page, which is Crystal Palace Festival, our Twitter account, which is CP Festival UK, and then also Instagram, which is Crystal Palace Festival, all one word, and then also on our website, crystalpalacefestival.org. If you go to any of those, you can click onto a link that will bring you directly into our pledge campaign.
Amazing. And check out the rewards, and every little helps.
Absolutely, every little helps.
Brilliant. Fab. Well, Noreen, thank you so much. It's been lovely to chat to you again. It's great to know that it's so close to the meeting the target. And I'm just going to finish with a couple of comments from Palace a Cappella members. So Kay says, Crystal Palace really is the place to be. And Gaynell says, it sure is. So I think on that note, we're going to say goodbye for today and leave you with a little video that some members of Palace a Cappella put together quite ad hoc and quickly using an app. It was a very interesting experience for us. It was something different, bit of collaboration in isolation to support the crowdfunder. So we're going to leave you with our little fun Christmas video, and we'll be back on Monday. So bye for now. Have a good weekend.
Bye, Crystal Palace. Thank you. Thanks a lot.